What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. We are not in the wood yard. We are on the road with the Eastonmade 2228, and we are actually at Metal Supermarkets here in Danbury, Connecticut. And yeah, you guessed it, we are picking up some steel to start making some Grizzly bars for the Eastonmade 2228. Okay guys, so we got a sheet of 4x4 by 3/16 sheet metal. We got some ever popular 1-inch tubing. And then down here we got 9 pieces of cut 1-inch tubing, which should be making up the Grizzly bars. It's a little tight in the bed, showing you like this, but I'll show you when we get up to Welder Chris's shop. Okay guys, we are back actually a couple days later, but I am up here at Welder Chris's shop, and we got the Eastonmade 2228 up here. All the steel is up here. Chris has already started on this thing. I just took off the wheels that help the conveyor fold up, and basically it seems like what, you know, we kind of had the same idea in that, and I know a lot of you guys mentioned this actually in the comments, but that these brackets for the wheels would serve as a perfect spot to, you know, mount the Grizzly bars. The one thing that prevents is that we won't be able to simultaneously have the Grizzly bars on and fold up the machine, you know, at the same time. In other words, these holes here are going to basically help mount the Grizzly bars when the wheels are not on. So it'll either be Grizzly bars or wheels, and that's okay, because, you know, as you guys know, this machine basically lives in one spot in the wood yard. It's not moving around much, and if it does have to move, it'll basically just be two bolts that I'll have to undo, which will take off the Grizzly bars, and I can put back on the wheels. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Let me walk into the shop. Chris is designing up some brackets right now. So of course, we got the unofficial beer sponsor of Dude Ranch DIY, Coors Banquet. Chris is making up, that's basically gonna be the bracket to adjust the angle of the Grizzly bars. I don't know what he's doing here. He's just cleaning his nails. But over here he has a rough layout of what the Grizzly bars are going to look like. This is that steel that I was trying to show you in the bed of the pickup truck, but it was covered by the steel plate. So that's roughly what it's going to be. I think we're going to space all of these bars about 2 inches on center. This is 1 inch by 1/8 of an inch thick steel tubing, and that's kind of where we're at. Oh, that doesn't look too big now. That's good. It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Perfect.
That is beautiful.
We can almost fit those holes, but it's not. Actually, maybe that would work.
I don't know that.
That's pretty money right there.
I don't think you need this hole, because that's going to be too shallow of it. Yeah, that's going to be too shallow,
especially
of
when
an
it's
angle.
Up high.
Right. So
yeah, we could probably even start with just this hole and make sure that we can get that hole. Yeah, that will all.
Yeah, because if you were to rotate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Wow, that
good. Looks pretty good.
Good little template there. All right.
Genius at work.
Let's cut it.
That was a tease. All right, guys, so we got this bracket, basically, which will be the adjustable, you know, the adjustment for the angle of the Grizzly bars, all mapped out here on the 3/16 plate. And Chris got his magnetic drill. That's pretty nifty.
That's it, man. Amazon special.
Amazon special. We got to get you one from Vivor.
Snap-on probably won't be worth it.
You only buy Snap-on for the big stuff, huh? Hey Chris, can you point me in the direction of the torque wrench? Woo!
I haven't even used it yet.
That'll set you back a mortgage payment or two. Yeah, that came out really good. So this is the concept, guys. Wheel still fully rotates, you know, in there with that bracket there. Obviously the Grizzly bars will not be able to be on the machine, you know, with the wheel there, but that's okay.
Oh wait, yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the bracket will be able to be there, and the bracket, what'd you say, Chris? You're gonna weld it like up here?
Yeah, I'll weld it there.
Yeah, so it'll be welded on there, and you know, we just didn't want the bracket interfering with the wheel. And then the Grizzly bars themselves will have to be taken off, you know, when and if we need to fold up the conveyor. But that looks pretty darn awesome. Alright guys, well we are back at Chris's shop about a week later, and as you can see, he has made some significant progress. I was going to say process, but progress here. We have some Grizzly bars. You outdid yourself on this one, buddy. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, work.
A lot of brain work, you were saying?
Yeah, to figure out all the brackets and
the angles and stuff, math.
Spacing.
Yeah. Well,
not necessarily angle, just drilling all the holes and make sure everything was, you know, on the right radius so the pins popped in, you know.
Right.
I did a good job.
Yeah, it looks awesome. We got a couple last things to finish up, guys. We have to weld the actual tabs, the mounting tabs, onto the Eastonmade splitter, which is right out there. And then we're probably going to throw it on the machine and split a couple rounds of wood and see what it looks like. The only thing that we don't really know how to address is the fact that these bars are supported at the end there, and I'm just worried, as you guys know, I split my wood somewhat small, that pieces might get jammed up in here like a triangle piece and slide down and hit this bar. So Chris left that metal plate at the bottom about 4 inches thick intentionally, with the idea that we could potentially notch out with a plasma cutter like a V in there, about a 2-inch V, to be able to allow for more clearance of wood when it slides down these Grizzly bars. But I mean, these things, we have the debris tray, you know, obviously on the bottom, that's going to go back into its own debris IBC tote, but he did a pretty darn good job of mimicking Eastonmade's Grizzly bars that are on their STK conveyors, and to be quite honest, I couldn't be much happier. These look really, really good. So we just got the Eastonmade in the shop, or at least mostly in the shop. And this thing has been here for a while. Chris, you said it was getting a little bit of attention, huh?
Oh yeah.
So what do you got? You got tree guys and log trucks coming in, dumping all the time, right? Because you guys make mulch.
Yeah, we recycle all sorts of stuff, but yeah, mainly wood. And oh yeah, a lot of second looks and guys pulling U-turns, coming around, calling their buddies. Yeah, I didn't get it, but you know, we got CBI grinders down there. I mean,
yeah, you guys got all the big stuff.
Yeah,
like bigger than most tree services would have.
Kind of
I guess.
Surprised me. I was like, wow. But this thing is a freaking animal. So.
I mean, you don't. I guess around here you don't see too many of these.
That's what they all say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get
You only see it online and shit.
Right, Eastonmade. Andrew has done a great job of building quite the presence on YouTube and online. But so you see him online.
That's the one guy yesterday said that he's been watching. Is that the owner, Andrew?
Andrew is the owner. Yeah.
Yeah, he's telling me he watched a lot of his videos.
He also gave you a big thumbs up. I sent him a couple of the pictures that you sent
really?
me, and he liked it. So that's always important. But yeah, I mean, I guess this thing has been getting quite some attention. I wish I had a Dude Ranch DIY sticker on it, but Chris has been mentioning to people, go check it out on my buddy's YouTube channel, and I think from what he said, they have. So we're going to, what's next? We're going to be welding on these tabs to mount this thing?
Yeah. I got these brackets here. They're going to go
right there, so we'll still be able to mount the wheels with those on. Yeah.
The wheel will still fit. So you pull that off every time you want to fold her up. This will live on the conveyor, one on each side.
Yeah.
I did double pins just to beef it up, you know, and I only did a single pin on the tray.
Okay, so single pin on the tray to adjust the tray angle,
right.
But double pins up here,
right?
Because this thing is beefy. This is going to be heavy.
Pins hold the tray and like not only the weight, I mean hold the weight of the whole thing too. So
right. Okay.
Let alone the wood bouncing off of it.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to get this all mounted up, and then hopefully we'll cut up a couple rounds and try it out. See if we actually have to plasma cut out the grooves like I was mentioning before. All right, guys, we got the conveyor set up, and before we weld the brackets, we're just trying to test angles and stuff like that. We got it up at a height which would definitely be able to fill a tote. I mean, this is like taller than I am. I don't think it would have to be quite this high, but this is like in the neighborhood. And we had plenty of adjustment up there with those holes. So Chris is just trying to see where it might need to be and what needs to happen. We're gonna have to make some adjustments, but we do have some wood on the conveyor here. And one thing that we immediately noticed is that this conveyor, unlike Dan over at Back 40, you know, he has the 37D, this is the 2228, it's gas powered counterpart. The conveyor doesn't spin quite as fast as on Dan's. I think that's because it has the smaller pump, because the gas motor runs at a higher RPM. I think, don't quote me on that, I think that's why the 37D has a larger pump. So this conveyor runs, you know, at a perfectly fine, acceptable rate, but not a rate that's going to shoot the wood, I don't think, out to clear this whole gap that we've created by mounting these Grizzly bars out on these wheel brackets. So what we're thinking is we have plenty of extra steel plate. We're probably just gonna make a flush mounted tray that will weld on to the top bar there to kind of fill in this gap so that the wood will slide on that and then hit the Grizzly bars. Just one of the things that we have to address when coming up with custom stuff such as this. So here we go. You ready? All right, guys, here we go. Okay, well, that did not work. Well, that didn't work, but we kind of knew that, huh? So as you guys saw, I think one piece actually hit the Grizzly bars. So we're gonna have to fill in that gap, mind the gap. They certainly do look like Grizzly bars, though. That is for sure. All right, guys, so we just plasma cut off the angle piece over here because when we mounted it up, just the weight and geometry of everything was making these brackets kind of torque in and making a gap over here. So Chris just kind of ground it down and cut it down a little bit to try and fill in the gap between this plate. All right, I'll show you over here. It kind of looks like that, which this side doesn't look, normally it wouldn't look like that. It's just a little torqued right now because it's, you know, the weight is a little off kilter. So we're trying to fill in that gap. We got it supported up by some jack stands, and we're trying to make it right.
I knocked it in front
So
of
what was it? What was it? The cheap Amazon parts? Yeah, from you hitting it.
Yeah.
It's not a hammer, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a hammer, Chris. It's a plasma torch.
There's like a little C-clamp in there. That
Yeah, I bet.
in there.
I bet there's a bunch of shit in there. It's not often you can just push a button and cut metal. This guy was using that thing. I don't know if I got it on camera, but he was using that. Look, you can see. He used it as a hammer. It's not a hammer. It's a plasma torch. He was wondering why it wasn't working.
That was such a bad cut.
It's because I was making fun of you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Run it back.
There she blows. How you doing? I bet that's hot.
This is hot, yeah. I fucking really melted that. We're gonna have to dust a bit.
Here we go. Turn on the conveyor with the new little added piece. I think we need a steeper angle. Steeper angle, right?
Good.
Say when?
Go down. No. Hold on. Cut.
There we go. It went in. All right. Here we go. Again. Hey! 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 Woo! All right. Very nice.
That was perfect.
That looked pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
We even filtered out a little bark down there. Whoa, how you doing? Here we go. Oh. Watch your hand. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, that one piece got caught up.
Yeah, I mean, that's just gonna happen.
But
you know, even with the notches, I feel like a piece like that is still gonna
will probably still get caught up, right? I mean, worst comes to worst, I can always take it off.
My plasma cutter has a 120 bolt. We can cut it at your fucking house.
Oh, okay.
I have a different plug.
Yeah, so worst comes to worst, we'll use it for a while.
Fucking test it.
Really test it,
Yeah.
splitting a bunch of wood. And I mean, it even looked like that little piece got knocked out by a second.
It made it through the first time, the second time,
right?
It just kind of wedged itself in there.
And I mean, that's a piece of wood like that. It's on the border of being kindling or firewood. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I think that looks pretty darn good, guys. Like, this thing is.
And we don't even need the side skirts, really.
Yeah, because it's wide enough where I don't think the wood.
Eastonmade one, and
they don't have the side skirts on it either. So keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. All right, dude. Yeah, we just got to weld up the brackets, drop it down. Another job well done. All right, guys, that's it. Grizzly bars are back off. Wheels are back on. We're going to unbuckle the conveyor here, fold it back up to head on home. Chris did a great job on this one, went above and beyond. And it looks pretty darn good. So there you go. That is a quick way of how to fold up the 2228 with attached conveyor. And there we got our Grizzlies. Well, guys, that's a wrap. Spare metal and Grizzly bars in the bed of the truck. Got the Eastonmade all hooked up, safety chained up, and folded up. So we are looking good. Thanks again, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate you, as always. How was this one on the scale of 1 to obscene projects I bring you?
Well, I got to grind some fresh paint off, so I was.
That was nice. That was almost a first.
I like when you bring me new stuff.
This was maybe the second new thing I brought you. The first thing was the Sure Track trailer.
Yeah,
and that was a while ago. So you were due for a new. Yeah. So we'll see as the channel keeps growing. Maybe I'll
avoid warranties any day. Don't worry.
I'm sure you will. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. The Dude Ranch DIY community really likes Welder Chris. So,
cheers.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Guys, we will check back in at the wood yard doing some official testing with this thing and see if we need to make some plasma cuts. So that's just what we'll do. See you later.
How you doing?